Should the state expand Medicaid as envisioned under the Federal Affordable Care Act, and if not, does the state have any obligation to help that particular population get health coverage?
First of all, Bill, I do think the papers have been fair. We appreciate the relationships that we have out there, and at times in which we have a need to discuss that, they've been very open to discussing that. As far as the potential expansions, the federal government passed a measure that had some serious problems that I laid out problems with at various times. That being said, the Supreme Court has now upheld it, and our goal now is to make sure that we get the best fit for Missouri. Our goals are pretty clear. We want to make sure that we're using taxpayer dollars well. I want to continue to engage the legislature to make these challenging decisions, but we also want to improve health care in our state. There's going to be challenges and opportunities in this regard, and I look forward to working in a bipartisan way, the way we have with other measures that the federal government has pushed down on us to try to get a best fit for our state so that we can have whatever moves forward have the most effect to use taxpayer dollars effectively, to expand health care options, to protect our health care network that's out there, and to make Missouri healthier. So I think there are clear challenges and opportunities in this regard. I think it's going to require a great deal of attention, and as I have in the past, I'll continue to work with policymakers from external to the Capitol, as well as Democrats and Republicans in the Capitol, to find the best fit for the Show Me State.
Dave Spence.
We all want to do the right thing. We're all empathetic. We don't want to see any of our neighbors and fellow citizens slip through the cracks, and we know we need a safety net. But as I go around the state, I also hear of rampant fraud in Medicaid, and I hear of other abuses. And if I could be assured that we were running it as well as we possibly could and there weren't abuses, I'm very open to helping our fellow citizens. But we are perilously close to not meeting the basic needs of our state as is. We are $16 trillion in debt as a nation. We are $200 million into our rainy day fund already, and our budget started July 1st. That shows we have cash flow problems in this state. I'll work with the legislature. We can't be everything to everybody. We've got to give a safety net. But the best thing we can do to bring down healthcare costs in this state is go from the sue me state to the show me state again. And that's where we are. We're one of the easiest states in the nation to get sued. And you don't think that has a factor on healthcare costs in this state? You're not hearing the truth. Our governor, career politician, has taken in over $2.4 million from plaintiffs' attorneys. They are dictating policy on health care in this state. It's not right. It is not right. We know we need to protect our citizens and give them a safety net. We've got to work together, use our dollars judiciously, because we are perilously close to not meeting the basic needs of our state that our citizens expect.
Jim Higgins.
No, we should not expand Medicaid, and we should resist any federal mandates as much as we can. As Dave said, there's abuse in the system, both on the medical side where doctors overcharge and people and then citizens take advantage of the system, and oftentimes the bureaucrats know about it. I mean, they know what's going on, but they don't do anything because the system. Number one, it's not their money; they don't care. And number two, if they do complain or something, nothing gets done about it. So the system just kind of perpetuates itself. We should try, and whenever you try to, again, whenever you try to subsidize something, it doesn't reduce the cost. I'll try one story. Somebody told me he went into a doctor. This was a long time ago. Went into the doctor and said the bill, and he said the bill would be $50. And then so the guy said, this is a true story. And the guy said, well, my company will pay half of it. And they said, oh, okay. In that case, the bill's $100. So, and that he told me that, and it's the truth. So that's the way it is.
Governor Nixon, we're going to give you an opportunity for a 45-second rebuttal here if you'd like. Dave Spence alleged that you had received $2.4 million from the trial attorneys, I guess is the way you phrased that, who were dictating your health care policy, and also alleged that the Medicaid program under your administration is poorly run. Would you like to respond to that?
Well, we've worked hard in the Medicaid area, just this last year, taking over $170 million out of provider rates, working with the Attorney General's office to get in there and work hard on making sure that we have a cohesive team fighting fraud when it's appropriate, and gone after making sure that we're making progress in those areas. You know, it's people know how independent I am, and people know that you know, we'll focus on the right things. I'll continue to move forward. And we will continue to work in a bipartisan way with the legislature with the dollars we have to make the most efficient and effective healthcare system we can, and the external forces that assist us out there. But people know how independent I am. I've been at this for a while, and there's no. I feel very strong that we'll continue to move this state forward.
Dave Spence, you have 45 seconds if you would like as well there.
Well, I think the facts speak for themselves. I've been on this campaign for close to 11 months. I've watched the campaign contributions, and it'll flat out make you sick. Labor unions, 2.3 million. Personal injury attorneys, 2.4. You want to know who's dictating policy and suffocating our state? There you have it. There's a reason we're 50th in jobs and 48th in economic development. Jay Nixon is not living in the same world that you and I are in. We're out in the real world, aren't we? We see the hurt. We see the despair. We see the people barely putting $5 of gas in their pot, in their tank, because that's all they have. People are waking up tomorrow hoping the news is no worse than today, and that is no way to live your life. It's okay for him. He's been on the payroll for 26 years. He's got a pension for the rest of his life that we're going to pay. I'm sorry. The real world is about results, and the results is where we find ourselves. In the real world, this CEO would be fired.